Hey, hello everyone. My name is Praveen. I'll be your lifestyle coach today, and we'll be going over the class 2, Get Active to Prevent Type 2.
Hi, my name is Swati and I'm a participant for today's session for Module 2.
Right, let's go ahead and I'll share the participant guide. Okay, there you go. All right. So, so just before we get any further, I just wanted to ask you some questions. But this module is all about how physical activity is an important part of your healthy lifestyle. By the end of this session, Swatika, you'll be able to identify some benefits of getting active, and you also will be able to identify some ways to get active. Okay. And then, yeah. And, I think one requirement for this one is we want the participants to have enough space to march in place. Okay, so the next one is, I wanted to remind everybody to go to the personal success tool module. So basically this is, you see, this is basically what CDC has. It's called, it's a personal success tool. And it will help you. And there are a lot of things that it can help you. Like, for example, let's say we have ended the last one. There are a lot of, things in there that you can, use that to reinforce some of these same ideas. Like, for example, this one is looking for prevent to quiz.html. So that's something that we can try to do after the end of the session, because so that kind of reinforces what you have learned. So I can just give you a quick personal success test tool quiz 2. Hopefully that link will come up. Otherwise, it's actually there. Yeah, so see this one, you would see the get active here. And if you click on that, this one actually gives you, certain things that you can do. Like, for example, physical activity. So it'll start quiz you on your, what you have learned. So this is kind of like a good way to reinforce what you have done. I would recommend all of you guys to do that. Did that make sense, Satikaru? Or did I go too fast?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty.
Right, it's very self-explanatory. And, this tool can help you pretty much like reinforce what you've learned. Okay. All right. So with that, let's go back to our participant guide. All right. So, there are, since our session is on getting active, have you found any ways to increase the amount of activity in your week? Oh, this is actually after the session. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Let me continue. So the session content will go over the focus of the session, the benefits of getting active, like some marching in place, and then plan for success and summary for closing. Okay. So here. So welcome everyone. And like I said, this is the session 2 meeting of South Asian Diabetes Prevention Program. Like I said before, we are talking about getting active to prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Before we go, can you summarize the previous session, Swati Garu? Hope I'm not putting you on a spot. Do you remember?
The previous session, we spoke about what is diabetes and why we have to, what are the things that, affect the parts of body that get affected when you are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and why you should why you should avoid getting type 2. So
Mhm.
that was in the session 1. It spoke broadly about how to control your weight, how to get active. So it was an overall overview of diabetes prevention program.
Nice, nice. So, and we also created an action plan last week. I don't know if you remember that. Did you like, and I'm trying to remember what my action plan was. My action plan was to like increase my activity levels and then also, kind of eat more healthy. So did it go well, or if not, what didn't go well?
Yeah, I guess according to activity, I'm walking more right now. So the activity level has increased.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Okay. All right. So now, so yeah, for myself, I don't think I have either improved or reduced. It's kind of status quo. I've been walking like 10K steps, and I have this Challenger app that, I try to aim for a lot of points, but, that is a combination of steps and yoga. But what happened to me was that, I've been very busy. So, with the office deadline. So, I could not actually do the challenges app, meet the points, but, and also I haven't like eaten really healthily. So I guess this last week wasn't that a great week to boast about. So hopefully this week is any better. So, all right. So now let's look at the, let's look at the focus session, right? So this is basically, in this session, we'll talk about I've said before, some benefits of getting active, some ways of getting active. I try to be a little bit more active this week and try lots of activities. And I'm sure you'll find something that you'll enjoy. Okay. And at the end of the session, we want to make some action plan. Okay. All right. So, why do we want to get active? So basically, we want to get active because being active lowers your risk of type 2 diabetes in 2 ways. One is you burn more calories from the food that you eat. And second, it lowers your blood sugar. It does that because, making your cells be able to use insulin to take up blood sugar. So what's so great about our body, or what's so interesting about our body is, we have all this, blood sugar from, that's got the food gets converted into blood sugar, and it just stays in the body. And then the cells actually don't take up the sugar. It's kind of like the insulin is actually the key. Think of like the cells being huge rooms. The energy is kind of like the blood sugar is kind of like the air coming into the room, but if the doors are locked, it can't come in. So you have to kind of like open the door to let let some air come in, or let some something else like a dog come in, for example. And if the door is locked, the dog can't come in. But by doing exercise, the insulin gets produced, which opens the door so that the dog can come inside. So that the cells can actually, so that you can play with the dog, which is basically like the cells can actually use the blood sugar. And body actually starts making more of that while you're active. So it's very, very important for people who are in the pre-diabetes to be active, as many times as possible. Even like a 10-minute, 5-minute walk, or even like 1,000 steps, or a few hundred steps after a meal is very important to generate this, to be able to use this insulin. Okay, so what are calories? The calories are a measure of energy. You get them from food and drink. So basically, we'll talk more about calories. We'll ask how to measure, track your food in upcoming sessions. But in this session, we'll mainly talk about what are some personal ways that a physical activity can benefit you. Right. Okay, so in this particular one, we would like you to, okay, so I have a question here. What are some personal ways that physical activity will benefit you?
It'll uplift your mood
Mhm,
and make you feel lighter and
mhm,
more energetic.
mhm.
So these are some of the things I can think of off the bat.
Yeah, that's great answers. And then, yeah, like you said, better sleep and mood, improved balance and flexibility. Obviously, when you do exercises, you kind of become more flexible. If you're sitting around, you're more stiff. It lowers blood pressure and cholesterol. There's a lot of evidence in that, scientific evidence. Lower risk of heart attack and stroke. Very lot of scientific evidence for that. And your stress levels go down. You go walk around, all of a sudden you're not stressed anymore because your body generates endorphins. You feel better. Stress goes down. You're a lot of full of ideas. You get a lot of oxygen. You have more energy because as you spend, as you walk around, you spend more energy. It's kind of counterintuitive. If you're active, you get more energy, and you have stronger muscles because you're using, a lot of parts of your body compared to being sedentary. As you know, like you will be working towards at least 150 minutes of activity each week. It may take some time for you to reach that goal, or you're probably already there. But by making small changes, you'll build habits over time. All right. So now let's get into the question, into the story. So let's talk about Leo's story, Tio's story. Um, can Swatikar, can you read that story for us?
Sure, Andy. Theo is at risk for type 2 diabetes. His doctor urges him to lose 20 pounds and work up to at least 150 minutes of activity each week. Theo and his wife have 5 children. The kids all play sports, and he spends a lot of time driving them to events. Theo also works full time. On weekends, he works a second part-time job. When he has some free time, he likes to watch basketball on TV, but he rarely plays it. He spends a lot of time sitting. What suggestions do you have for Theo? How can he get more active?
Okay. I guess I'll take the answer. I'll try to answer. When his kids are playing sports, he can, walk on the sidelines. That's a good way to, burn some calories. Every time, he has a lunch break, he can walk around with a friend, and then he spends a lot of time watching basketball, so he could probably actually play with basketball with his kids rather than watching it on TV. And he can maybe take stairs instead of an elevator. So those are some of the things that he can do. Did that get that right?
Yeah, sounds good. Actually, I used to, whenever I take my kids out, I actually walk while they're practicing their skating or their swimming, all the other activities. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nice. Hey, all right. There are so many ways to get active. I'm sure you'll be able to find, at least one activity that you like. What are some of the ways to get active? Please discuss, share an activity that you do already to stay active. So Tikaru, how, I think you already mentioned. So what are some ways that you do to get active?
Like I said, I go for a walk while my son is practicing his speed skating. And walking is my go-to, actually.
Nice. Yeah, I also walk. I walk my dog 2 times a day, so in the morning and the evening. So that actually gives me a lot of exercise. I reach my goals of like 10,000 steps a day. And I also do some sort of like aerobics kind of activities by watching some programs on TV and try to follow along like an aerobics instructor. I used to play volleyball. I kind of is on hold right now. I used to play tennis because I have a foot injury, kind of like a plantar fasciitis. So I'm trying to compensate by doing some exercises. All right. So what are some of the ways? So here are some of the ways that you can actually get active. Well, that's interesting. Well, I guess I'll read a few and then maybe Swadhika, you can read the rest. After you read a book for 5 minutes, get up and move a little. Dance your favorite music. Pace the sidelines at your children's or grandchildren's sports events. Play actively with your children or pets for 15-30 minutes a day. Replace Sunday drives with Sunday walks. And run or walk briskly when you do errands or shopping.
Start a new activity, hobby such as biking or hiking. Take a walk after dinner with your family or by yourself. Track your steps with a pedometer. Work up to 10,000 steps or more a day. Walk around whenever you talk on the phone. Walk up and down escalators instead of riding them. Walk your dog each day. When you watch TV, stand up and move or do chores during the ads.
Excellent. All right. So one small step towards being active is what I'll commit. So I guess for me, I personally, I already do some of the walking the dog, and I walk around, especially on a phone, I walk around quite a bit. I do reach 10,000 steps. The only thing I could do is, I can probably do a little bit more of the chores in the house. Sometimes I do spend a lot of time on my phone and, spend some time on the instant media and stuff like that. So I could probably replace that with some more like, chores at home. That's what I'm thinking that can help me. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. Again, these are some of the things that we could get active, is like biking, climbing stairs, dancing, doing yard work, hiking, jogging, jumping rope, lifting weights, playing soccer, stretching, swimming. I actually like stretching a lot. I feel like it really helps me. And using resistance bands and walking briskly. So yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to, I guess, skin the cat, like they say. All right. So yeah, any small increases in your physical activity can positively impact your health. Maybe it's climbing the stairs instead of taking the elevator, or many more things. So make sure you kind of have your own activity planner and record those things. Let's take a brief few minutes to write it down. I'm going to take like a minute to write mine down. All this mindless scrolling, I can easily replace that with some definitely some chores around the house, even though they kind of tend to be boring, but definitely I feel better rather than watching some social media. Okay, all right. So go to the next one. Okay, here are some things that we want you to check before you start any of these statements are true. So if any of these, one of these items are more true, I would recommend you to see your healthcare provider. If you're over 50, you haven't been active in a while, and you're planning to be very active, I would recommend seeing a doctor. I want you guys to read that.
And the second one is, I'm pregnant. My healthcare provider hasn't given me the okay to get active. I get very out of breath when I'm even slightly active. I have a heart problem. My healthcare provider wants to keep an eye on my activity. I have bone or joint problems that make it hard for me to do things like fast walking. I have chest pain that started within the last month. I tend to pass out or fall down when I get dizzy. During or right after a workout, I often have pain or pressure in my neck, left shoulder, or arm. My healthcare provider wants me to take medicine for high blood pressure or a heart problem. I have health problem or other issues not listed here that might need attention if I get active. So if you check even one, any of these, it's better that you all check with your healthcare provider before you guys get active. What do you say, Andy Praveen garu?
That's great, Andy. I think the reason for these is that in this current activity, they expect us to, one of the things is like, we get everybody up and march in place for 2 minutes. So, if any of these apply, then, you don't have to do this activity. So with that, let's go ahead and, I'm gonna, hold on, let me put in my charger because I don't want to run out of charge. All right, we'll start the timer. Let me see if I have bring up the clock here. Oops. All right, so when the clock goes to 12, let's all march in place. So basically all you have to do is just, keep marching it, move your hands, make sure you don't have anything that you'll knock it off. And then let's start. You can hold a chair if you want, but if not, it's not required. You could, march in place. I actually love this exercise. You get a lot of steps. And, swing your arms, that. Right, done with 1 minute. One more to go. 30 more seconds. All right, we're all done. All right, good job, guys. Oh, this is supposed to be for 12 minutes. So I actually didn't plan on, well, it'll be a lot of video activity for 12 minutes. I guess we could probably do 12 minutes. I'll try to play some other exercise later on. So I think I don't think can walk in line for 12 minutes. So I'll try to skip that activity. Okay, so now, with that, I'll add an activity for 12 minutes. I've seen a lot of videos. I see one video called Roberta's Gym. I find it really, really fascinating. I would recommend everybody to try that because it's really yeah, so this is the one that I like a lot. This is called Walk 1 mile at home, burn fat. There's all kinds of exercises.
Ask your doctor about
And it keeps you very energetic. It also gives you when to take a break. So it's very low impact.
Welcome
Really.
to the new video workout. Up next, walk. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1.
I find this really good.
1.
I would encourage that for you guys to do that. I do it at home. I like it. And then let's look at your action plan journal and let's figure out, try to make one. I think keep in mind that what we have discussed, about getting active. Are there any things that worked for you from last time, or are you planning to change anything for the new routines, or do you have any plans, Satikaru, for any new routine?
None that I can think of right now.
Mhm. Yeah, so I would recommend like having some routine, and then make your new routine easy. Let's say if you're let's say you thought about like you eat dessert every day, right after a meal. So try to replace that with like something else that's not, has a lot of sugar in it. So, if you drink tea, I drink a lot of tea. I have to figure out how to actually cut down on the tea, and have less sugar in it. I try to put a lot of spoons of sugar in it. So I need to figure out, if I can skip that. And then I need to keep focusing on that, drink black tea or black coffee, and that will actually help me a lot. If there are any things that you want to add, feel free to add that. Right, so take a few minutes to write down your action plan. Okay. So now let's look at the page 5 and 6 of the activity module. So be active, be safe. Sort of overcoming challenges. So I guess you go back to the 5 and 6, I guess. Okay. So 4. So yeah, so you should try to look at the move your way activity planner. And then this one is move your way. So that's the thing, these ones, it's hard to actually copy and paste the link, but might be a way, but I just don't know how, but then, yeah, you can try to, there's an activity planner here. You can try to plan that. And also like look at the Get Active module on the personal success story tool and all that good stuff. All right, so with that, I've already showed you how to go to the quiz. I'll share that link. Now, it's important to be active safely, right? So before our session, I would like you to complete, are you ready to get active on the page 7? We already went through that. And then we also want to read the, safety tips. So I'll go ahead and read a few and maybe Swatika can fill in. So if you get hurt, you may want to take a break from being active. Follow these tips to work out safely. Physical activity at a medium or moderate pace is safe for most people. But however, if you have a chronic health condition or have been inactive, have a disability or overweight, discuss physical activity with your doctor before beginning. We want to dress for the activity, wear the right shoes and clothes, use safety gear as needed. If you are like hiking, wear knee pads and, have like right type of shoes. You don't want to damage, you don't want to have any, issues with your, with your feet or anything like that. Make sure, if it's too hot, wear some light clothing. If it's too cold, wear some, you don't want to get sick from, the weather. So it's very important to drink water. I want to drink water before, during, and after your workout, even if you don't feel thirsty. There's a lot of recommendation about how many glasses of water that you should drink. And I think you should, as long as you should keep up, it's really good. Because water is really essential, is really healthy. What I do every day is I get up in the morning. That's my first routine, is I have at least, 4 cups of water, and then I squeeze, I warm up the water, squeeze a lemon, and I drink it, and then my day starts. So, I just feel like, I just get that thing out of the way, and I feel really good about that. And listen to your body, right? Listen to your body, slow down or stop if you feel very sick, tired, or faint, and if your joints hurt. Don't try to overdo it. Don't try to push yourself too much. The goal is, you want to you aim for the long-term results, not, short-term. And also learn how to exercise appropriately and considering your age, fitness level, skill level, and health status. Just remember that, it just gets better as you kind of practice doing more times, right? So the first day you might feel like, even like a few hundred steps might seem hard, but then the next day those steps become easier. So just make sure that you pace yourself. Don't try to push yourself too much and cause any damage or anything like that.
So this is very important. Warm up before you work out, cool down after you work out. Take 5 to 10 minutes for each. Warm up, it actually helps you so that you don't hurt your muscles, the muscles that you haven't worked out for a long time. It really helps you with that. Then choose activities involving minimum risk. Work with the weather. work out indoors if it's too hot or too cold. If you get too hot, you may get a headache or a fast heartbeat. You may feel dizzy, sick to your stomach, or faint. So just make sure that the weather is conducive to working out. That would be as you'll be working out. I mean, as you're just beginning, that if you keep an eye out for weather, that would be really that is recommended. Use good form when strength training. And the other point is, if you have to take a break from your physical activity routine due to an illness, start back slowly and work back up to your usual level of activity.
Mhm. Yeah, these are very important. In terms of form, when you do strength training, make sure that your form is correct. Otherwise, you might end up damaging some of the muscles. So just be careful. Try to look yourself in a mirror while you're doing those things, or like have a partner keep an eye on you and to make sure that they can correct you. So definitely very good tips. And then safety is definitely very important. Safety comes first. So all right. So I guess Swatika, so what are some challenges that you have about getting active?
I would say trying to fit it in my routine
Mhm.
is one of the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the main challenge, to be
Right.
honest.
Yeah. Even for me, I kind of have a busy day. I try to plan, to do many things, and it's always a challenge to add any new things or remove things out of the routine. But I think we need to make sure that doing this is part of that routine. One of the challenges is, it's too hot or cold or wet inside. So in San Diego, sometimes it actually rains. So these days we've been experiencing a lot of rain weather. So like I said, some of the ways to overcome, like you have the Roberta's Gym kind of videos there. There's Dennis Austin is one great fitness guru. We have like some Dance with Deepti. There are many ways. Exercise has become a lot of fun these days. So people are like, there are a lot of videos on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on Netflix. Many things. So I would recommend that. Dress for the weather. If it's too cold, sometimes I just wear like a monkey cap and I bundle up and then walk around. If it's hot weather, swimming is a great idea, although I don't do that much. I think about like, I have to take a shower after this, and so I have all these excuses. So I need to actually, go beyond that. And joining an online exercise group, I think that's a great idea. That will actually keep you motivated. Go ahead, Swatika.
I think I'll let you do this, Praveen.
Okay. So I don't have childcare. So you want to be active with your kids, swap childcare with a friend. You can ask friends or family to help out. I mean, you can use childcare at the gym. These are all great ideas. If you don't have a car, then you want to work out in your home or area. You want to join or form an online exercise group. There are a lot of great exercise groups that are online. I think there's Meetup. If you don't know, if there's a meetup.com that, if you sign up, there's always some online virtual event that's happening, and somebody's teaching some course or the other for free, or online. It's great, amazing individuals who share. And if you're part of a gym, like in our case, I have a membership. They have classes every day, and that I could actually go and exercise as well. So I guess if you don't have a car, then yeah, you can find some. All those exercises are they are streamed on Facebook, so you could actually do them at your own convenience, at your convenience of your home. So right. So the other one is, I don't have a time. Go ahead, Swati. Yeah.
So that's everybody's woe and excuse and situation, if you can. Mostly that's everybody's situation. So you can actually walk your dog if you have a dog. Walk your dog briskly. Sweep or mop your floor briskly. Wash your car briskly. Stretch. Do sit-ups or pedal a stationary bike while you watch TV.
Mhm.
Mow your lawn with a push mower or rake leaves. Plant and care for a vegetable or flower garden, which is very, very rewarding.
Mhm.
Then you can do fit in activity at work. If you're at work, probably you can take a brisk walk during your coffee or lunch break. Ask a friend to go with you, and take take part in an exercise program at work. Join a nearby gym. You can pop into the gym before or after work or during your lunch break too. Join the office softball team or a walking group. So there are quite many things you can do while you're working. Then use a copy machine on the other side of the building. You can get up, walk away from your desk. So there are a lot of things that you can do instead of just sitting at your desk all the 8 hours. You can just walk up and do other things. So that's one way to get active.
Yep. All right. So this is another one. You feel embarrassed. Well, you can work out your own home. You can work out with your friend. So it's always good to have a friend, and you don't feel like you're the attention. You're the object of the attention. And then again, it's your own health, so you don't have to be sorry about, working out is for your own self. So my area is not safe. So this is one thing that I hear a lot, work out in your own home or work out at a gym or a community center. There's a lot of steps that you can get in the home itself, just walking around, doing a lot of the chores, like, going up and then down the stairs if you have stairs at home. So definitely, that helps. Cost too much. So, yeah, just do free activities like walking. If you have a TV with some internet, you can, watch some videos. You can buy workout lights and equipment on sale because there's a lot of thrift stores. There are a lot of that actually sell a lot of things for a much lower cost. Look for free. I mean, definitely look at your library and community center. They actually have fitness classes. They're all free. So yeah, definitely try to utilize all the resources. There's a lot of free classes that are being taught at the library and the community center. And the last but not least, it's boring. So if it's boring, just make it fun. Just dance away like nobody's watching. Play with your kids and play with your dog, and they'll be surprised to see, oh, who is this new parent that I have? So, and then work out with a friend. So call up that friend that you always wanted to, you haven't talked to him in a while or her in a while. So just tell them, hey, let's just go work out together, and definitely you'll see a lot more friendships. Use a fitness app. Then you get points. Like, for example, I have an app called Challenge app that actually get points that whenever I do exercise. So I can actually, get some like reward, like, oh, I, have a goal and I meet the goal, and I tend to share with my friends. And so all of us compete, a very friendly competition, but it's more like, if one of us is not working out, you get like a reminder from one of your friends, like, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you exercise in a while. So definitely those fitness apps help. Listen to music. Get like a headset or like a Bluetooth headsets, and just put it on. And sometimes when you just listen to a podcast or listen to some something, it just takes your mind off the exercise, and you're like focused on what you're listening, and you don't even think about your exercise. I do, even though I do have all of that, sometimes I forget. So I just take my phone out and just start playing something, and I just listen to it while I walk. And then keep trying new things. So until you find something that you like, so don't stop. So obviously, variety does help. Like if you find something boring, do something else, come back to it. So you can play around with it. Variety is the spice of life. So just keep trying new things.
So it's painful or tiring. You might think it's like painful or tiring. The ways to overcome that is ask your healthcare provider which activities are right for you, because you don't want to like make things worse for yourself when it's painful. So when you're hurting, do listen to your body and make sure you reach out to your healthcare provider. And the other thing is work out safely. Work out at the time of day you have the most energy. Walk slowly or swim. Do yoga or tai chi. Yoga and tai chi are like really slow exercises which are really good for you. They help you stretch. I mean, they help you keep your muscles nimble and your muscles nicely stretched so that you're not stiff. So the other thing is it messes up my hair. So if you're very concerned about how it makes you look while you're working out, you can work out in a cool place, try new hair products and styles, are some of the things that you can do about some of the things that you can think about doing to keep your hair not messy, that is.
Mhm. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, interesting concern. So yeah, I mean, definitely if you really run really fast and your hair is in the wind, and so you could actually mess up your hair. So you probably want to tie it up, or some ways that you could be creative about that. Okay. All right. So we're at the end of this session. So we made it. Woohoo! All right. So yeah, I would like you guys to think about, what, I mean, I definitely wrote down a few things that I wanted to do. Like, for example, I said, when I am on my mindless scrolling on the instant media, Instagram, whatever, that I will try to plan some chores. And then I also want to reduce my sugar intake in my tea. So those are some action items that I have. Definitely the first one is when I can actually get more active. How about you, Swati Garu? Have you?
Those are really good ones, Andy. And yeah, probably less snacking for me. And I definitely am going to add the thing about when I go shopping, grocery shopping, first go all over the store uh, before I start shopping. So that will let me see what they have to offer, and it'll also increase my activity level.
That's a good idea. Mhm. Yeah, I think you have to
So
put your chores harder. So like the
yeah, and park a little far away so
Mhm.
that you can walk a little more.
Mhm.
So that kind of adds to your activity. So that's about it.
Nice, very nice. All right, so with that, I guess we come to the close of it. Thank you so much for listening to this video. So if you have any comments or anything, yeah, reach out to us, and have a nice day or night. Bye.
Bye.